Hey everyone, it's Michelle here again with Birthday Hoover. Here at Birthday Hoover, I am a full spectrum plant-based holistic doula and an advocate for all things safe, natural, and effective. Um, I apologize. I know that my studio looks a little different because this is not my studio. I had to makeshift one because I am not home. So just please bear with me. There's birds and everything and sounds. But just bear with me while we get through this video. Today's topic is going to be about informed consent. And I want to talk about this because this is so important. I have so many women speak to me and talk to me and tell me that things that happened to them that they felt was mandatory or was coerced on them, or they just didn't understand the language in which which the medical providers were using to explain to them, the treatments or the process or the actions that were being done. So I just want to talk about informed consent. So a general understanding of informed consent is when you give permission to a medical provider to perform a medical procedure of some sort on you. You have to give them permission, and you often sign a form. But let's talk about that situation. So I want to give a scenario of what is not informed consent. So a doctor comes into the room and says, "Hi, my name is Dr. You got to do whatever I say." And Miss Pregnant Woman, here's what we're going to do today. We're going to give you a cervical check. So I just need you to lie back. It's going to be really quick, and we'll be out of your hair in a minute. That's not informed consent. Telling you what I am going to do or what needs to happen is not properly informing anyone. Giving you a prescription for a medication that is going to treat something, like, for instance, here, take this medication because this medication will help with preeclampsia. But there is no information on why I need to take it, what was I diagnosed, is there side effects, what's the benefits, what's the risk. None of that stuff was discussed. So informed consent is supposed to be a mutual agreement between the two parties after everything has been explained to you. You need to know why, what it is, what the benefits are, what the risks are, what happens if you don't do anything, what happens if you do something. And you need to understand that you are an autonomous being and you can say no. What are my options? What are the alternatives? I don't want to do that. And I'm going to talk about why. Some people say, well, why do why you want to go against what the doctor says? Why shouldn't we trust them? Shouldn't we do all of the things that they tell us to do because they are our doctors? But here's the thing. There's so many situations, there's so many circumstances, there's so many things. We're all different. We're all people who function differently in society. You could be a person who has dealt with trauma. You could be someone who was sexually assaulted, and you have a hard time dealing with a person who you don't trust or you don't know that well, touching you in areas that are private or are sensitive. So you may not want to get a cervical check, or you may be crampy that day. You may just not feel like it, and it may be unnecessary. So that's why it is okay to know that you have options and you can say no. It is okay to know that everything that's routine is not mandatory, required, or even necessary. It is okay. So if you have questions, ask them. You do not have to go along with anything that anybody tells you to do. You definitely have the right to say no at any given moment. If you sign a consent form and the person comes back and says, "Oh, you signed a form, we're going to do blah 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 blah," but you say you called somebody and they gave you some information that you didn't know and you want to change your mind, that is in your right to do so. You can literally say 5 minutes ago, "Yes, I'm okay with this procedure," and then when they walk in, you can say, "No, never mind, I changed my mind, I don't want to do it." So that is informed consent. You cannot just be a victim to doing everything that your providers tell you, especially when when we're speaking about pregnancy, labor, maternal care. Um, if you go to the doctor and you they say, I want to give you an ultrasound, but you just had one a week ago, and you feel as though that's just a bit much, it's okay to say no. It is fine. There's nothing going to happen against you. You are within your autonomous rights as a human in America to say, no, I do not want that, and this is why. Or you don't even have to have a reason why. You can simply just say no. And a lot of people say, oh, well, I thought this was mandatory. Oh, I thought the glucose test was mandatory. Oh, I thought I had to get the Down syndrome test. Oh, I thought I had to let them check my cervix 45 times, even though it causes increased risk of infection every single time you do it. But we don't know, and we don't always understand that we are well within our rights to say, no, I don't want it. I'm not comfortable. Or yes, I do. I'm okay with it. We can do it. But please be sure that you know everything that goes on. If someone is telling you to take a medication, get a shot, I'm going to have to do this procedure on you. I'm going to have to check your cervix for this. I'm going to have to give you this kind of whatever, or I gotta put a scope somewhere. You have to ask questions. Why am I doing this? Why am I taking this medicine? Why are you touching me? Why do I have to do any of these things? What are the benefits? What are the risks? How is this going to affect me in my pregnancy? Can you show me documentation? Can you show me evidence? Can you show me some research? You need to know what is going on at all times. Don't just take anybody's word for it. Even as a doula, and even with all of the information that I give to my clients, and all of the research that I share with them, I always tell them, take a step further, ask somebody else. Take a step further, do some more digging. Don't just take my word for it either. Make sure you are very sound in your decision before you make any moves, because it is you and your baby and your family whose health and lives and mental stability on the line. So for me, it's always about making sure you are comfortable, making sure you are okay with the thing that is happening, making sure that it feels right to you in your gut. Make sure these people are informing you, all of them. Everybody has to inform you properly. No one can tell you what to do. No one can say the word required, or this is what we do normally, or this is a routine, or all pregnant women gets this thing. No, you are your own person. The same energy that you take out into the world. I'm an adult. I do what I want. Ain't nobody gonna tell me what to do with my life. You take that same energy with you everywhere. You take it into the prenatal place as well, because it is important. It is important to have that same advocacy, that same energy with you, so that you are protecting yourself, you are valuing yourself, you're respecting yourself. And that's pretty much my take on informed consent. There is nothing mandatory about anything hospital, anything maternal wise. It's nothing mandatory. Everything is an option. You have an option no matter what. So don't let anyone try to tell you or coerce you or pressure you into believing anything otherwise. So again, thank you guys for coming and tuning into the video. I appreciate all of the shares and the follows. It's just been so beautiful thus far. If you guys need more information, I have a PDF document of what informed consent is, if you want to email me for that document. If you want to email me for a new topic, or you just have questions, please be sure to go to Google and at birthyhura@gmail.com to ask me whatever questions you need, and I will be sure to see you guys in the next video. And peace and pregnancy dust.